Good morning, everyone. My name is Laura Stranks and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in Brisbane, Queensland, Australia. Thanks for joining me today. If it's your first time watching, welcome. If you'd like to subscribe to my channel, all you have to do is go into Creative Gems and hit the little subscribe button. In there can be a little bell that you can click on, and that will let you know when my videos are there for watching. I do record my videos because I upload them every Monday morning at 9 AM standard time, which I'm usually busy at that time of the day, so but it seems to suit me to record and upload. Just a couple of things. I've got a Facebook page called Cards by Laura. In there, just photos and all of the pictures, all the cards that I've made over the years. There's no tutorials or anything in that one. I have a Facebook group called Laura's Craft Room Tips and Tutorials. In there, you will find the PDFs for all of these. I'll just have a mouthful of water before I start. Excuse me. The tutorials are in there in the Files tab. For all of these videos that I do on YouTube, and I also do a regular live video on a Saturday morning in that group as well. I've got over 12,000 members in that group. A lot of them are not active in there, but I'm sure they're just looking at a lot of the stuff that goes on. Also in there is pinned to the featured tab is my live videos that I do on a Saturday. That's about it from me. If you wish to join this group, there are two questions that you need to answer. Why you wish to join the group, and it can just be that I like making cards or I like what you do. It doesn't really matter. And also that you agree to the rules. If you don't see the questions on the device that you're on, sometimes they don't show up. Go to a different device. So if you're on your phone and you don't see the two questions, go to your iPad or your PC and you'll find the questions there. You must answer the two, otherwise I'll decline your request. Not that I want to decline anybody, but it's just part of the group that you're in. I'll put that aside because it does get in the road a little bit. Today's card, I've cased this one from Maria's Crafting Corner. I watched her video on this a few weeks ago, and it is absolutely beautiful card, and it's not that difficult to make. There's a little bit of scoring and cutting. Most of it's the decoration that makes the card. I have already done two varieties with different papers. All of this is current. It's called a pop-out window card, and I'll show you the inside. This one here I've done in the lavender paper. Gorgeous grape, fresh freesia, and all the lavender bits in there. Sits up nicely on your desk. It is 5.5 by 5.5, so you will need a 6x6 envelope if you're posting it, and it will probably cost you a little bit extra postage because it's a little bit thick. This one here is in the translucent florals. I'm not sure the name of the paper, but the stamp set's called translucent florals, and I've done this one inside. I fussy cut these flowers out of the paper, and all the other papers. The backs of these are just decorated at the back. You can write all your message on the back. So that's what we're going to do today, and I've already prepped a lot of the pieces. We'll put that aside. This is what you will need, and this plus all the tutorial of how to assemble it will be in the PDF will be in the Files tab in my Laura's Craft Room Tips and Tutorials group. I'll go through the pieces with you, and we'll do the scoring after I've done all these pieces. Now I've got them all prepped here. My outer base to start, and I've already scored this one. It measures 11 inches by 5.5, and I've scored it down the centre at 5.5 inches. That's that one. Then the inner base, which I'm calling a mechanism, it is 9.25 by 5.5, so same width but different length, and I'll give you the scoring on that piece in a minute. My front and back mats, which I have done here, not that one, this one, And have I cut the other two? 1, 2, that's all I need. Yes, the front and back. 2 of these, they're the mats. They're in the new colour, Petunia Pop. My base was in, what's that new one? Shaded Summer, Shaded something. Just have a quick look. Summer Splash. I knew it was Summer something. Summer Splash is the bluey colour in there, or bluey green. This is out of the set that I used, which are the Flowers of Beauty. Both of these, I've used the greetings out of this one and this one here. They come as a suite with the stamp set, the dies, the DSP, there's some shimmer paper and some embellishments as well. So all that is out of that. These, we'll go back to these. The mats are 5 1/4 by 5 1/4. You'll need 2 of those. And then the DSP on the front, on one, that's the front one, it measures 5 by 5, and the basic black one, basic white, sorry, back basic white is 5 by 5. And then I've just cut out one of the die shapes on there and adhered it onto the back. That's your writing panel for the back. And my inside mats, and these are the little deep, oh, these are the outside. I'll show you from here. These ones here. The mats are 5 1/4 by 4 1/4 in the Petunia Pop, and the DSP is 5 by 4. That's another pattern DSP that comes in that pack. That's those 2. My inner mats, which I class as the ones deep down in that little tunnel down in here, they are these 2, 2 3/4 by 1 inch, and you'll need 2 of those. And then the DSP on the top is 2 1/2 by 3/4, and you need 2 of those. So that's those little ones. My embossed mats, which I embossed these, then they haven't got DSP, but you could put DSP up there if you want to. I've just cut little 1 inch by 1 inch pieces of cardstock, and I embossed this one. These on this card, I've used this Basics 3D embossing folder. There's 3 in the set. I think they're finished now. They were an online exclusive, and I've got 4 of those, and I've just embossed with the little flowery pattern on it. Goes that way. So there's 4 of those. Then the smaller mats, which are top and bottom, there's 4 of these. So we've got the mats in the Petunia Pop. They come in up the top here. These 1, 2, 3, 4 on each side. 1 3/8 by 1/2 inch, and there's 4. And then the DSP on the top is 1 1/4 by 3/8. And I've only put a 1/16 border around these. All the other mats and DSP have got a 1/8 inch border, but these were a little bit tiny for that, so I did the smaller border. And there's 4 of those. Feature inside. That's 4 by 2 3/4. Where am I? Oh, that's these ones, I think. Yes, that's these 2. I don't know what I talked to them before. Oh, I think it was up here, the inside mats. That's these 2, which, you know, I think I showed you those 2 before. So these 2 are these here. That's this one up here, 5 1/4 by 4 1/4, and your DSP is 5 by 4. That's those 2 that we'll tuck in under there once we get the mechanism done. So that's those 2. And then the feature piece is down here. 4 by 2 3/4 are the mats, and the DSP is 3 3/4 by 2 1/2, and there's 2 of each of those. That's your feature part there. Got them right. My little reinforced pieces, and you won't see these on the card as it is, but I'll show you where they go in a minute. It's just to reinforce a couple of the panels at the top and bottom, where they're just a single layer of cardstock and it can be a little bit flimsy. So we're just going to put a little reinforced sort of a section on it. and they measure 2 5/8 by 1/2 inch, and you'll need 4, and they're the same colour as your base colour, so they'll blend in with the base. Scrap cardstock for greetings and decorations, which is standard on all my cards. I just put those so you can choose yourself what to do. I'll put this aside. Those measurements will be in the description box of this video as well. Not the whole instructions and everything, just the measurements will go in there. So we shall get started. And I'll score this one just to show you where the scoring goes. So this is my outer base, and it measured 11 inches long. So we're scoring that in half at 5 1/2, which is that one, and we can fold that. That'll be ready for later. It comes in a little bit later. And then this one here measures 9 1/4, I think it was. Yes, 9 1/4 by 5 1/2, and we're going to score it at 4 5/8, which is 2 strokes past the 4 1/2, and we'll score that there. Now keep my trimmer scorer handy, because this is where we're going to do some on this mechanism piece. You can fold this piece in half down your score line, like so, and you're going to leave it folded while you're doing your scoring and cutting. So we'll start off with the folded edge on the left side. I've just got some notes here so it's easier for me to read as we go. With your folded edge on the left and your open side, which is over this side, on this side, sorry, yeah, we're working on your left hand side, left edge on 1 1/4. So that's there, and you're going to score, and you need to press firmly because you're going through 2 layers of cardstock, so press quite deeply. I might just do that again. 1 1/4. You want these to be nice and firm. 1 1/4. Move across to 2 3/4, and this is where I'll need to stand up because I can't see the. You're coming down to 5 8. You're going to score from 5/8 of an inch down. So if you've got your 0, I've got a piece of tear and tape under here that it allows me to see this black writing on this side. When it was clear, when I first bought it, it was clear there, and you couldn't see these as well. So I ran a piece of tear and tape all the way under there. Leave the backing on it. You don't need to take the backing off. And that way you can see your black marks, your black measurements down the side. So we're going to go still on 2 3/4 here. Put your little the little groove on your scorer at the 5/8 inch mark. So there's half there and then 5/8, and you're going to score up. I'll put it back on the 5/8 and score up. I'll just do a couple so make sure it goes through. Then you're going to the bottom, and you're going, it's on the 5 1/2 here, so you're going 2 strokes up on the top side of the 5, which is 5/8, and you're going to score down, and I'm pressing quite firmly. Score down. Then we'll move across to 4 1/4, which is over there, and we're scoring from top to bottom all the way through. So that's all the scoring. Now we're going to rotate 90 degrees. What have I got there? I've done that. I'll just get another piece out. I put the second score line there on the wrong one. I'll just get another piece. And I haven't got any here, but I will go and get a piece. I'll only be 1 second. I'm back again. Now we'll try that bit again. I know I moved that piece to wrong, so I'm going to cut this. It's 5 1/2. We'll start this piece again. I'll use that other for scrap. 5 1/2 by 9 1/4, I think it is. I'm pretty sure it was. Yes, 9 1/4. Sorry about that. And I knew I didn't have any more inside. I had to go to my other room. 9 1/4. Score it at 4 5/8. 4 5/8 is there. I'll get this right yet. 4 5/8. Fold it. I'll know this off by heart soon. Left edge, folded edge on the left. We'll start this again, and I won't lift it this time. Left edge on 1 1/4. I think I moved it to 1 1/2 before. 1 1/4. Score from top to bottom. And press firmly. Move across to 2 3/4. 2 3/4 there. And score from the 5/8 inch mark, which is there. 2 3/4, 5/8. Where are we? 5/8 up there. 2 strokes down. I'll go that one again. And then here, 5/8 is down on 5/8. Done that. Move across to 4 1/4. Now we're right. 4 1/4. Score from top to bottom. Rotate 90 degrees so your fold line is at the top. And the left edge on 5/8. So that's halfway, and then 2 strokes past the half, which is halfway there. And you're going to cut between the 2 score lines. So I'll put my scorer back up there, and I'm going to cut between these 2 score lines, which is there. I can see the score line here and here. It's 1 1/4 there, down to 4 1/4 here. And we'll cut. And you need to press quite firmly there, so it cuts through both thicknesses, which it has. And then I'm up to 4 1/4. Left edge on 4 1/4 with your fold edge at the top again, and cut from the top down to the first score line. So from there down to this score line here. Just make sure I'm right. 1 1/4. Cut down that one there. 5/8 between. Cut between. Yes, I've done that. Just making sure. I'm going to start that last little bit again. I've got my folded edge at the top, and then I moved it, rotated it 90 with the fold at the top and the left edge on 5/8. Yes, and I cut between the 2 score lines. Done that. I'm getting myself confused here. Move across to 1 1/4, which is there. This is the next bit, and cut down from the top to the first score line. From there down to the first score line. Lift that up. Move across to 4 1/4. 4 1/4. And cut from the top down to the first score line, which is there. I'm pressing quite firmly on this so it cuts right through. And then move across to 4 7/8, which is 2 strokes before the 5, and you're going to cut between the 2 cut lines. Oh no, sorry, between the 2 score lines there. So that score line there, and cut from there to there. Rotate again 90 degrees with the fold at the left this way, and you're going to cut between the 2 cut lines. The left edge on 4 1/4. I hope I'm not confusing everybody. left edge on 4 1/4 over this side, and you're going to cut between the 2 cut lines. So that's cutting those sections out. So the cut lines there, and I'm cutting between those 2 cut lines. And that is that. If that's not quite cut, we can snip that with our scissors. Finally got it right. Practice makes perfect. That's all you need that trimmer for. If you go back and rewind it each time, you'll get it right. I was trying to go quite slow for everyone so they could keep up. Might need a new blade in my cutter soon. So these here, if you open this up now, should be right. So these here, these top ones, and I'll show you from my card here, these top ones come into, this is the easiest way to fold it. Pinch them upwards so they come to a mountain fold, and this center one here comes to a valley fold. So just wedge them like so. Get that one there and that one there. Bring it down and fold them down so we can burnish all of those underneath there. And burnish this one here. Put that aside. Once you get that bit done, the rest falls into place. There's a score line along there, so you can fold those and burnish. And fold this one backwards and burnish. So that's how it should end up. When we go to glue it inside, we're going to decorate it first. These here will come backwards, so you end up with that type of shape. This one here will come outwards. It goes into it. I'm trying to keep that at the back. These will come forward. I'm trying to keep my rough edges inside. So it'll end up like that, with this little window piece poking out here. These will come backwards like so. I've done a template of this so I can show you from that as well. This one here will come backwards. And I'll show you where to glue after. These, oh here, we've got to fold these back. There's another score line along there. So they will come backwards. I'll show you my other template. This is where we're going to glue. So it should end up looking like that. So you've got the 2 open sides over this side. You've got the folded edge here. Those up there. Where am I? Why isn't... Oh, I know what I've done. That one's got to come out that way and out that way. That's it. Just got to keep folding until you hold your nose right. So they're back on themselves like so. If you get that. And that's the same. Do yourself a template first so you know where the folds are. Right, now we shall do some decorating. Now I want the back side of my hinged part, which is this. And I'm going to put these little reinforced pieces on this here. So we'll get our glue here. And I will get my silicone mat so I don't end up with glue all over my workspace. And it goes, these little reinforced pieces go from this center score line, or just on the side of it, across this score line to that one there. Up the top you'll see the little gap spaces there where they fit in. So it's going across that score line, and it reinforces that. It will bend eventually there, but it reinforces those. I don't think it... Hang on, have I got that right? Yes, no, it's not in there. I'm right. All good. I'll put the other one in. It's just because it's just one thickness of cardstock there. You want it a little bit thicker so it holds its shape. And we'll put another one here. Flip it around, and this will be the underside of the inner piece. And that one will go there. They're just a little bit narrower than the where you're putting them onto, so you don't see them. They're not sticking out past the card itself. And that one on there. And that's your reinforced pieces. These will come forward and that one pops back. So we can decorate all these pieces now. Just get all of this sorted a little bit to the side. Get all these pieces out. I'll put these little squares on first. Make sure I got my embossed side up the right way. Yes. Been using my tweezers a bit lately because I was getting a lot of glue on my fingers all the time and it was getting annoying. That way. It's hard to tell with some of these embossings. They look the same from both sides. That one in there. If you didn't want to emboss these, you could put a little piece of DSP in there, or just plain cardstock with DSP on top. I think it's just such a small space. I think it's going to be a bit thick if you put too much in there. And it just breaks up the pieces to have it embossed. A little bit more texture on the card. So that's those four where they need to go. These two centre ones, those two we leave till last because we have to pop it inside. These two centre ones, all of this DSP is from the same pack, so you can choose any sorts of colourings. I've got some with that mottly one with, it's got the two colours in it, Summer Splash and Petunia Pop. These will go in here, down the centre. Got a retreat coming up in a week or so, a couple of weeks I think it is, 18th and 19th of May. And I've got 12 ladies coming here. We're doing 10 projects over 2 days. Everything will be cut and embossed for them. And it's going to be a fun time. It'll be my third retreat we've had since I've been a demonstrator for 8 years, and for a long time I've done classes and workshops and all sorts of things. These little ones go at the side here, and I've only got a 1/16 border on around those because they were a bit tiny. I've been doing YouTube videos for a few years now. I also do my live videos in my group. My group's really large. I just wish a few more would be active in it and show me their projects. A lot of them, I think, are just there to have a look. You never get any better unless you try. Sometimes when I first started, I'd look at something and think, oh, I couldn't do that. But if you watch videos and do it step by step with what they're showing, it's not too difficult. This one's a little bit more involved than some of the ones I've done, but I love the effect that showed. I watched Maria's Crafting Corner for this one. I mentioned that at the beginning. And there she does some lovely fancy fold cards. I think it's in the decoration too if you decorate nicely. So that's those. We can put these on. I'm doing all these beforehand because when you get the mechanism in, it tends to want to sit up, and they're a little bit more difficult to get all the panels on. And it's not too bad, but it's easier to do something when it's flat. Most fancy folds you decorate while it's flat. I'll leave all the fancy bits. Actually, I can do them too. I'll show you a little trick I've learnt with adhering my fine die cuts to cardstock. You've probably seen it before. It's been around for a while. Right, that's all those pieces. Now we've just got to make sure we get this right. So these are coming forward, that's going back on itself, like so. Just double check with my template. So that's how it should look, which it is the same. Now I'm going to take my base, and you're going to put glue just along this thin strip at the top and the bottom and up that thin strip there. We're going to line this up first with the edge of your card, the base of your card. Make sure it's flush here, top and bottom, and lined up down this edge here. So it's all nice and square. Then just hold that in place where it's going to go. We're going to put glue on this. All the way. I'm putting a fair bit on. You could use tape on this, but I wanted a little bit of wiggle room. So and then you're just going to bring this other side across and close it on top. And that will just straighten up any bits that are sticking out. I'll just turn my reminder off. Fix that. I have reminders set for a few things. I'm not sure what that one is, but it'll wait. Just make sure that's nice and adhered down, and then we're going to do exactly the same for the other side. We'll take that up, move this over, glue down that thin strip there, across the top and across the bottom. Put a fair bit of glue and then just pull this across and close it on itself. And that should be fine. Put the lid on my glue. Just give it a few seconds. We can decorate the front while we're waiting. Just make sure that's tucked in there. It's up a little tiny bit, but it's not too bad. I have my front section. We've got to still put the inside pieces in. This is the front of my card. I'll put that on. My glue. This is the easy part, decorating. Make sure you've got your pattern up the right way. And we shall put that on the front. Not happy with the way that's sticking up there. See if I can push it down a little bit. I think it's already stuck. It's not too bad. And then I'll move that. Nicely stuck. You can open this up and have a look, and it's sitting well. That's how it's supposed to sit. I'll put the back panel on while we're doing front and back. One's the back panel where you can do your writing. You can decorate this as much as you like. Doesn't need much more detail. Then I have, we can do these inside pieces. I've got some decoration to go on these top ones here as well. these pop in under here. They fit nicely in there. Make sure, I don't think there's a direction on this paper. Some glue. Don't know what everyone's plans are for the week. I've got a fairly busy week with things happening. We're still prepping for the workshop. Just waiting for my order to come through for some of the stuff. We have to wait until the catalogue went live before I could get it. So almost done. So that's that side. And then this side, I'm going to go this way. Just wipe the top of that glue off. And then pop that one in there. Get up the same way. Perfect. I might just trim a tiny bit off that. It's not much showing, but it's annoying. That's better. Just along that edge. I'll open it up. I could have got it a bit straighter, but I don't like the way it's sticking up. That's better. You can always trim things. I'll tidy it off a little bit later. Snip that right through. At least it's not showing now. It was annoying me. Now we've got some decoration here. I'll do this inside bit first. I've just got a couple of these leaves to go on there, and I've got a couple of greetings to go on, which I've cut out some of the flowers. These flowers are out of this Flowers of Beauty, and they cut 8 little flowers at once. That's a bigger flower and then a smaller one, and I've decorated the centre with just some basic rhinestones in there. And then the leaves are these ones here. There's all sorts of, that's the one I used on the back, and they're all lovely dies. And there's some that cut out the stamped images as well. So I'm putting that there, and I'm going to put this one here and this one here, and we shall stick these down flat. I don't want any more bulk inside. That's still okay. What I do with this, I've got a sponge here, and I just put a little bit of glue in the corner like so, and get my sponge and just dab over the back of this, get some glue onto it, and that way it will stick all over without you having to wind your glue through the little tiny pieces. I'll put that one on that side. You could decorate these before you put them onto the card, but it's not too hard to do it this way. That's that one. Just wipe that little bit off so it doesn't go on the other side of my stamped image. Whoops, we don't want glue on that one. Just put a little bit of glue, a bit more on there. Dab it all over the back. Only needs a tiny bit, just enough to get it to stick. And then that will go on that side. Move that out of the road for now. Just decorates up the front a little bit. You can put decorations over this side as well, but I don't think it needs it. It's got a pattern there, and also you don't see it when these little wings are opened out. And these I'm going to put flat as well. I might put Celebrate first. Put some glue on the back of this. Now that I've almost emptied my glue pot, it's coming to that last little bit. Spread it to the edges so it sticks down nicely. I'm just putting it across the bottom of the stem. Centered in there. And this one the same. Give it a good shake down. And this one on here. Thank you, Maria, for your lovely card idea. Your video was easy to watch as well. So that's the inside finished. Hopefully they're all stuck down. I've got little basic rhinestones there. And my front, all I'm doing in my front is I've got this, and I'm going to pop it up on dimensionals. I'm not going to do too much. It's got a nice busy background, so it doesn't need much more than that. I've got some dimensionals out here already. Love you to give it a go, and if you wish to join my group and you do the card, hop in there and share what you do. I'd love to see people's creations. I love teaching as well. I've got quite a few ladies that come to my workshops and classes. I've got a big rumpus area out the back where we all sit, so there's plenty of room. I'm just putting that dead center in the middle, and that is it, all done. That's a little bit rough there. I might try and trim that again. I should not have cut it to start. Oh, there it is. That's better. I will trim that again there. If you put it in properly, you don't need to trim. I didn't check that before the glue had set. But that's my card. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. And I hope you give them a go. There's 3 different designs I've got there. All different. I shall catch you all again next Monday morning at 9 o'clock. I hope you all have a lovely week, and bye for now.